Hello and welcome to Suncoast FYI. Our guests today are Thayer Greenberg, Director of Education for the Players Center, Barbara Gerderman and Elizabeth Goodwell, co-owners of Creative Liberties, and our final segment is one that many viewers asked to see again. It's from our garden show. Marta Hudson, past president of the Sarasota Orchid Society, will share how to keep your orchids healthy and happy. The Players Center is a gem of non-professional performers located right here in Sarasota, and they are always working on new and exciting performances to entertain us. In addition to that, they hold summer camps for the up-and-coming area performers. Thayer Greenberg, Director of Education, is going to give us a glimpse of what the camps are like and what their upcoming season looks like. So welcome to the program.
Thank you.
Thank you. So I know you're finishing up the teen musical theater boot camp. What is that there?
So we are currently in the middle of our production of It's a Bird, It's a Plane, It's a Superman. It's Superman, it's a Superman. It's Superman, and it is basically a comic book come to life in a musical. Okay. It's like an old school comic with bad guys and Superman and Lois Lane and saving the city from the bad guys.
Okay,
so.
And what age range is that when you talk about a teen camp?
Our camp is 11 to 18. Most of our students are between 11 and 14 right now. Okay. We did our Finding Nemo camp to start off the summer, and now we're into our last little camp of the season.
Okay, and again, I know, so looking forward to next summer so people will know, what age ranges do you actually have camps for?
We have a wide range of camps for a lot of our students. So we are actually 5 to 18 for our summer camps. And next summer, we are actually looking at some new programming, but we will be doing a summer stock, which hopefully will actually go to age 25 and start including college students. So
awesome.
Yeah, just keep a lookout for what's to come.
Okay, so training for them. What's so important about the training that they're working on right now?
So theater education and arts education in general is just so important for students, and what we're doing at the Players is not just creating good performers, we're building good humans and good kids and giving them life skills. And theater training is about learning how to speak in public and talk to people in communication, but it's also critical thinking skills and empathy.
Working as a team.
Yeah, ensemble
together.
building. Sure. So yeah, we want to create really strong performers, but also just really good humans.
Okay.
Yeah.
As we should.
As we should, yes.
So what kind of performances do you have coming up? Starting in August, September?
Yeah, right around August. So August 21st is when our fall season starts up. And we actually have a lot of new programming coming to the Players. This is my, I'm new here at the Players, and so
welcome.
Thank you. And I'm very excited to be implementing a lot of new things. So we're going to be actually offering for our students, we're going to be offering a fall play, a winter musical, and a spring musical. So students will have the opportunity to audition for shows all throughout the year. We're not announcing them yet because it's a little bit of a surprise for our students, but a lot to come. And we're implementing a lot of new classes, bringing in new teachers, just a lot of really fun things to come. And for our little kids as well, so like our minis, our 4 and 5 year olds, we're going to be offering classes for them as well. And then we go all the way, we say, 5 to however old. So like we have classes for everyone. We have our Follies group who write their own plays and do a little performance and stuff. So we do a lot of adult programming as well.
Right,
so,
exactly.
Yeah, we like to include everybody.
There you go. Now, if somebody's interested in becoming a performer, how do they go about doing that?
So if you are interested in, joining the Players and taking a class, you can visit theplayerscenter.com and there's enrollment on there, but there's also descriptions of all of our classes and everything that's to come. We will begin enrollment for this coming fall on July 17th. So parents, adults, whoever wants to come out and join us, just take a look at our website under our education section, and there will be all of our new offerings and what's to come.
Okay. Now, do you need volunteers to help you? How do you run the?
We love our volunteers.
Okay.
So we have volunteers who are ushers who help with our house management. We also take volunteers to help sewing in our costume shop. We have a wonderful costume person, but she is one person, so we are always looking for people to come out and help. So there's always opportunities to volunteer, and you can actually go onto our website as well, and there's a volunteer section in there, and hey, sign up, give us your information, and we'd love to have people coming in.
Okay, so what is your website? And we'll put that across the screen.
It is theplayerscenter.com.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, and welcome to Sarasota as
Thank
well
you.
as your new position.
Yes, thank you.
All right. Well, it was nice meeting you.
Nice meeting you
Thank
too. Thank you so much.
Next up, are you looking for a family day filled with art or maybe a stitch and bitch class? Really? Well, yes, more details right after the break. Creative Liberties has it all, so look no further to find art classes, art to purchase, or even that stitch meetup every Tuesday. Co-owners Elizabeth Goodwell and Barbara Gerderman are here to tell us all about the fun you'll have when you walk through their doors. Well, just from looking at your classes, I know that you have a lot of fun and you do this together.
We
so
do, yes.
tell our viewers what Creative Liberties is and what it means to you.
Well, what Creative Liberties is kind of like, it's our ever-evolving brainchild.
That's a good way to describe it.
But it's okay, to take it down to its bare bones. We are, affordable artist studios, an artist space or artistic space for the public to come in, to view artwork, to purchase artwork, and to see the artist's work.
Yeah, that's a big portion of it, is the chance to see the artists at work and get to meet them and talk with them.
So you're both independently artists?
Yes, we are.
Yes,
Yep.
okay. So what brought you together? What made you decide to go out on your own like this?
Well, we worked in a very, very tiny office at Art Center Sarasota, where we met working summer camp and then doing education programs after that. But we've always had this kind of love for teaching and a passion for art already. Okay. So in order to share it, we decided, hey, let's step out on our own and see what happens.
All right, now what makes your business and art studio different from other art studios and classes?
Well, a big portion of what we do that's different is the opportunity, like we just mentioned, for folks to come in and meet the artists, kind of engage with them, see them at work, talk to them about their process. And we're finding that it's really wonderful for the artists and the public to have this chance to interact, and it creates a very meaningful dynamic between the two of them, and the people become very connected to the artwork because of that opportunity. Sure. And so it's different than just walking into your typical gallery space where you never interact with the artist, you don't really know too much about the artist other than what the people there tell you, or what kind of information they have up. And so it's just this component that is really helping to increase the artist's sales and make it more meaningful for all involved.
It's also one big component to showing that Sarasota is a vibrant and active visual arts center.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
But you have things going on. Family Art Day, the
Yes.
fourth
Yes.
Saturdays.
Yes.
Yeah, that's our community give
There's
back.
your community give back.
Yep.
I mentioned another class earlier. It's called Stitch and Bitch.
Yes.
And that's on Tuesdays.
That's my little brainchild.
Okay, but you have it's incorporating knitting and crocheting.
Yeah, it came about.
So that's how the stitch. And
Yeah,
knit
it
in
really
there.
is just a meetup group for everyone to just come in, even non-knitters or fiber enthusiasts. We just wanted to have a group again.
Okay. Do you have, because it says weaving, do you have looms or you do?
Deborah Lambert from Picasso's Moon actually has brought over a couple looms. She does sayori, which are highly portable Japanese looms. They're so cool.
Okay. Okay, so there's an opportunity if somebody comes that they can actually work on a loom.
Yes.
I know you can have your own knitting needles and crochet needles and things, but
I
I
have
thought
my
that
own
was
spinning wheel.
Do
I
you
know.
let anybody else use it?
I do. I'm happy to.
Okay. Okay.
No Sleeping Beauties, though.
So, and you also have open studios on the second Saturday. So there's a
do.
lot of things going on besides the obvious of coming in and selling art. But there was
Correct.
something else about the free art. You take one, give one. If
The
you get
free little art gallery.
right?
We're so excited to be the new home of that. The Free Little Art Gallery was started by an artist named Judy Robertson. It was her COVID project, and she needed a place to rehome it, and we were so happy to be that place. And
Wonderful.
it's like a free little library. You can give and take, and
I
it's
like
wonderful.
it.
I
Yes.
know.
You rotate your art out like you do your
Yep.
clothes.
And we never
exactly.
know what artwork is going to be there from one day to
Yeah,
the
that's
next. It's a great surprise.
fun.
Yeah.
That's fun. Okay, so going forward now, you have classes planned, events planned.
We
for-
do. Yep. Our next event is July 29th. It's called Magic and Mystery. It's a night market that takes place at 927 North
I
Lime
know.
Avenue. And then we'll have some performers and some vendors there, some food, some drink. So it'll be a fun evening.
So where are you located? We didn't tell our
We
viewers.
have 3 locations now.
Okay.
So our first location is the 901B Apricot Avenue location. And then just down the street, we've opened at 927 North Lime Avenue. That's where the classroom is located.
Awesome.
And then we also have a space in the Arcos apartment building at 340 Central Avenue. It's a gallery space and a working studio space for
What is your website
artists.
before we close so viewers
The
can find you?
website is creativeliberties.net.
Okay.
So anyone can find any information on there along with our contact information and
Calendar,
Instagram.
sign up for our newsletter. We do a newsletter with
Awesome.
all kinds of good information.
Okay. Well, thank you both.
You're
and
Thank you.
Had fun.
Thank you.
Yeah, we
did.
appreciate
Thank
the
And we
time.
hope to
Thank
see you at Stitch and Bitch.
Thank you, dear. Oh. Well, up next, if you have a question about how to keep your orchids thriving, orchid expert Marta Hudson returns with the answers. The Sarasota Orchid Society is a nonprofit dedicated to the education, appreciation, and enjoyment of many varieties of orchids. Orchids can be tricky to grow and maintain, but Marta Hudson, past president of the Sarasota Orchid Society, has the answers to all of those "what do I do" questions. Okay, so we had asked you earlier, how many orchids do you own, dear?
Well, what I told you earlier too is that what happened at this studio stays at the studio.
Okay, well, I don't know if we can keep it that quiet, but
I have close to 1,000,
okay.
but I had to sadly throw away about 100 of them when we had the hurricane and then the cold weather.
Sure.
They were shredded to pieces, and I had to get rid of them.
Okay, well, but obviously you take very good care of them. So that's why you're here, because you're going to help us take care of our orchids. Okay.
Thank you.
What do you look for when you're buying an orchid? How should a person begin when they look at an orchid?
Well, the first thing to look at is the roots, if you can see them, the leaves, and if they're blooming, to look at the flowers. If you look at this plant, it has very healthy roots, very green. It's been
That's what you look for, is green roots.
well, they're green and they're like transparent kind of it. That means that they are healthy roots. They're not dark like this, for instance, an old root.
Okay.
So
So what do you do when you see something like that? Do you cut it off when you see the old roots?
yes, you could, but then you have to use the right tools. You have to disinfect your clippers.
Yes.
And cut them, because you can transmit disease from one plant to another.
Okay. All right.
But it is important to
Disinfect.
to disinfect, to wear gloves if you need to.
Okay.
So yeah, that's what I'm looking at. I'm
Okay.
looking at the leaves, that they're not too spotty.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. What materials do you use when you plant them?
It really depends on the type of orchid that we're dealing with. For instance, Nancy brought some orchids here today that need some help.
Yes.
And so this is a great thing because the majority of the orchids that people have look like this. They're right now, this is trying to look for some moisture, for light, and this is normal. They do lose their
They
leaves.
do? Okay.
This is normal, but it's outgrowing this pot.
Okay.
So it needs to be taken out, all of the old media removed, and it will change completely when you put the proper medium to it.
Okay.
So they will reward you with beautiful flowers. So if it looks beautiful like that, imagine if you put the right orchids. Now,
Okay.
this orchid right now is growing this way too, because in nature, to avoid getting crown rot and all the water accumulated in the center, they drain like that.
Right.
In nature, they grow like
Right,
that.
and they drain.
And yes.
Just because we've got so much to cover, I know when you're talking about the watering, you said you water yours with a hose.
Because I have so many.
You have so many. But I mean, people can, if they have them, water them with a hose.
Right.
And we're
But
going to dispel the using ice cubes. Let's get that right off
Let's-
the table. Don't
no
use
more,
ice
no more
cubes to
ice
water your-
cubes.
okay.
No, I
All right.
imagine that.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what about light and circulation and all
That-
of those things, Martha?
Those are key. Those are key. For instance, this orchid is a type that doesn't need a lot of light. So they can grow indoors, and that's why people love them, because they can have them inside the house. And instead of buying cut flowers that last maybe a week, you're going to
Yes.
have an orchid that this can last you 2, 3, 4 months.
It does. I know. It's
Or
amazing.
longer than
It's
that. So
amazing.
you pay what, $30, $40 for
Yep.
a pretty orchid,
Yep.
and you have 4 months of enjoyment.
Of enjoyment, right. Okay.
So
So, again, so it depends on the particular orchid. Let me take that.
right.
from you.
One more thing about this
Okay.
orchid. This is causing a lot of stress, and it is holding somehow a little bit these heavy blooms. But if you put a taller stake,
Yes.
like maybe this one here,
Yes.
and lift it up a little bit more,
Lovely.
we can work on that more later,
Okay.
but I just want to give you the idea.
Yes.
It just lifts it up and it
I
reduces the
didn't wanna-
stress on
I
the
didn't wanna
plant.
snap it before, so
Now,
there we go.
this
Okay.
plant right here
Uh-huh.
is amazing, and most people get this type of plants when for a wedding, anniversary, birthday, graduation. And there's a lot of plants all beautifully put together in a bouquet like this, and I'm sure this was magnificent.
It was. But
Okay.
we've got to get that out of there, and we only have a couple minutes left. so-
It's done blooming. You need to check for the water. It's
Okay.
pretty wet.
Yeah.
They're crowded. They need to be removed. This one was having a baby. It's called a kiki in
kiki.
Hawaiian. And the roots are still healthy, but this needs to go.
Okay.
So we need to repot this
Help that.
immediately.
Okay.
There is different places to repot orchids, and I don't throw anything that is good that I can use. This was broken, and the fact that it was broken made me think about what can I use it for, and I put an orchid right here.
Okay.
Unfortunately, it's not blooming right now. It will,
How
and it will
about
be pretty.
how about feeding and fungicides and things? How often do you feed your plants?
The feeding is weekly.
Okay.
Every week I give them a fertilizer, and then the fungicides and insecticides once a month. And it depends. My orchids really don't have a lot of disease, knock on wood.
There you go.
And
Okay.
but I'm very attentive to them.
And how about watering? So you say you feed them once a week. So is it a granular or is it a liquid? Martha?
That's a very good question, because in March I use these little baskets. You can see them right here.
Yep.
And I will put some slow release fertilizer. So when you water them year round, they're always releasing some kind of nutrients.
That's wonderful.
But then I like to boost them with a little bit of Epsom salts, calcium, magnesium, just to add more to the plant according to the requirements.
And this is going to be the last one we have time to talk about. You can plant them on pretty much anything if you wire them to it, right?
Yes, you can mount them on beautiful pieces of wood.
And
you
hang
can
them
mount
outside.
them. This one, I hang it outside and I have them with the vandas because the roots are exposed. This has a sphagnum moss. And this one is an orchid that blooms almost year round too.
That's beautiful.
So it is really beautiful.
So we're gonna wrap up with, I know you have a person that you know that sells orchids and will give you all of the information that they need, that the
yes.
person needs, and they're located in the farmers market.
Yeah, all around orchids. Sells beautiful orchids at the farmers market. And so whenever I have an impulse and I need to have a specialty orchid, not just what you find at Home Depot or the box stores, then I go to Elfie. And this
recommend
is
that book.
my Bible. It's for Florida. This was written in Miami. So you change it like 2 weeks later according to orchids month by month. And it will tell you what to do with each orchid.
Marta, I wish we had more time, but I think we got a lot of good information out of there. So thank you so much for being here today.
Oh, you're quite welcome.
Well, we hope you enjoyed the show today, and thank you for joining us on Suncoast FYI. If you would like to promote your nonprofit or community event, we would love to hear from you, and this is a complimentary service. Please call or email us using the information on the screen. To view previous episodes, go to snntv.com and click on the What's On tab. I'm Nancy O'Neill, and we'll see you next week on Suncoast FYI.